Have you ever reached a point in your life where everything felt steady, normal, until a single doubt turned your entire world upside down? That's exactly where my story starts. I'm Samuel Warren. Most folks around here know me as the guy who runs the family grocery store, the one my father built from scratch, the one I've spent almost my whole life managing. My life used to be steady. Early mornings at the shop, afternoons balancing accounts, and quiet evenings at home with my wife, Lorraine. Everyone in town thought Lorraine was perfect. She was admired for her kindness, praised for her unwavering faith, and always involved in church activities, fundraisers, prayer groups, charity events, you name it. People often said I was lucky to have her, and I believed them. Lorraine and I had always been open with each other. Her phone was never locked, and I knew the passcode for years. No strange messages, no suspicious calls. Our marriage felt solid, honest, and built on trust. Then something changed. It wasn't sudden, just a quiet shift. Subtle changes in her routine. She started spending more time at church. Where she used to be home before sundown, she now stayed late, saying there were more events, more people needing help. Her explanations were calm, logical, convincing. But a tiny voice in my mind kept whispering, something's not right. At first, I dismissed it. I told myself, doubt has no place in a marriage built on trust and shared faith. But the unease only grew. Then came the night that changed everything. I was sitting at my desk reviewing supplier invoices when Lorraine called. She said she'd be at church for hours, deep cleaning for an upcoming event. Her voice was steady, sweet, reassuring me not to worry. But after we hung up, something in me snapped. I grabbed my keys and drove straight to the church. The streets were empty, the town silent under the night sky. As I arrived, my heart pounded, but the church was dark, completely still. Not a single light on inside. I walked around, checked the doors. No cars, no people anywhere. I sat in my truck just watching. Nothing. That's when the truth hit me like a freight train. I didn't confront her right away. I went home and waited. Lorraine came in later that night, smiling, acting like everything was normal. She told me how she and the church ladies had scrubbed floors, sorted donations, prepared for a big event. Her words were smooth, practiced. I didn't say a thing but watched her closely. I knew I couldn't ignore this anymore. By sunrise, I knew what I had to do. I drove into the city, heart racing, and entered a small office tucked between old brick buildings. The name on the door read, Miles Draper, Private Investigator. Miles was older, calm, direct, no nonsense. I told him everything, the long nights at church, the empty parking lot, the uneasy feeling I couldn't shake. He listened, nodded. He'd seen this before. He promised to start surveillance immediately. As I left, a strange calm washed over me. At least now I'd know. The next few days dragged. I kept my routine, stocking shelves, greeting customers, but every time I looked at Lorraine, I saw right through her. Her smile, her prayers, the meals she cooked, they were all masks. Then came the call. Miles's voice was steady, emotionless. Come to my office. It's done. I dropped everything and drove straight there. He slid an envelope across the desk. Heavy. Inside were photographs. There she was, Lorraine, caught in daylight, stepping out of a small roadside motel with Daniel Finch. Daniel was well known too. A regular at church, always volunteering to lead Bible studies. His wife rarely attended events, preferring to stay out of sight. Photo after photo, they arrived together, left together. Their body language left no doubt. This wasn't friendship. This was an affair. Miles laid it all out, dates, times, locations. Each day Lorraine claimed she was at church, but she was with Daniel instead. I stared at the photos, hands shaking, face calm. The betrayal was brutal, but even more shocking was how easily she returned home each time, sitting across from me like nothing had happened. I quietly thanked Miles, took the envelope, and left. That night, I didn't wait. Lorraine called around dinner, saying she was finishing another meeting at church. I didn't argue. I said, that's fine, and parked outside. I would wait. The silence was deafening. She stumbled over her words, tried to twist her story, even mention my favorite dessert, but I stayed. Minutes later, she slipped out, not through the front doors, but a narrow alley beside the church, head down, moving fast. She climbed into my truck without a word. I drove home in silence. Halfway there, she started making excuses, claiming she had personal matters to handle. I didn't speak. At the house, I pulled into the driveway, turned to her, and set the envelope on her lap. "Open it," I said flatly. Her face went pale. The second she saw the photos, she broke down, sobbing, gasping, begging for forgiveness. She called it a mistake, a lapse in judgment, claimed she still loved me. I didn't flinch. When the clock struck the hour, I said only this: "You have 1 hour. Pack your things. Leave." I walked away, leaving her crying in the front seat. Inside, she packed frantically, stumbling under the weight of her lies. When she left, dragging suitcases behind her, I didn't watch. I sat, staring at the clock, unmoved. But I wasn't done. I took the envelope and drove to Daniel's house. I knocked firmly. Daniel answered, surprised. "I need to speak with your wife," I said calmly. His wife, Laura, appeared puzzled. I handed her the envelope, turned and walked away. Later, I heard Daniel had been kicked out that night. No arguments, no negotiation. Laura didn't let him pack. Word spread fast through the church and town. Both Daniel and Lorraine became outcasts, shunned by everyone who once admired them. Friends vanished. They became ghosts in a community that had once praised them. Meanwhile, I moved on. The divorce was quick. Lorraine had no case. I kept the house, the store, everything. She tried repeatedly to reach me, letters, calls, showing up at the store, begging and crying. I ignored it all. When people asked, I never spoke badly of her or Daniel. I simply said, "The truth always finds its way," and it did. Lorraine and Daniel never spoke again. Their little fantasy collapsed under exposure. As for me, I kept living with dignity and peace, free from the lies that once suffocated my life. In the end, it wasn't the betrayal that defined my story, it was how I handled it. I chose truth, silence, and grace. That was all I needed to move forward. What do you think, my friend? Did Samuel handle it right? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear. And if you enjoyed this story, check out more gripping tales on my channel. Until next time, take care and stay wise.